what do you attribute your success to? What can you share for our audience today?
Look, I in my job, I get invited to speak to students' career. Obviously, we do a lot of training in the company, so new managers in their roles. And I always go back to six things that are important, right? Six important aspects,
Awesome.
at least for my philosophy, at least for me, right? So I think number one, you have to have a goal. You must have a goal. Whatever that goal is, you need to think about it. You need to write it down, and that's going to help you think about and understand the path to get to that goal. How do you accomplish that, right? What do you want to do? Write the important questions. What do I need to get there? What am I missing? Those are important aspects of having the goal. It's not just to say I have a goal, but how do you get to that goal, right? So you have to think about that and come up with a plan, a map, if you call it that way, of how do I get there. And the goal can have different steps, right? Goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, and so on. But what is your next goal? Number 2, I think you have to surround yourself with coaches and mentors. And this doesn't mean like your manager that you report to on a day-to-day basis. I think you need to find those people that you can always go back to, reach out to at any time, to ask questions, to get feedback, to get suggestions on how to deal with something. You know, and I have a couple. You know, one of my mentors in a mentorship program that I was part of actually led to my current job, because we worked on a project before, and when this opportunity became available, he thought of me and said, I remember working with you in that project. So I think, you know, that aspect of having a coach or mentor is important. Number 3, I think you have to be willing to learn and ask questions, right? Ask for feedback. You have to be honest. There are things that we could do better. There are things that we can improve. There are things that we can learn. And I think in those conversations, if we're honest with ourselves and you ask for feedback and you're willing to learn what you're missing, or you're willing to learn what's the next step to get you there, that's key. That for that conversation with your mentors, with your manager, with your counterparts, you know, with your employees, if you have employees that report to you, right? Is always having that dialogue and open communication in the sense of asking for feedback and being honest. I think you have to have an important brand or work on your brand. I think you have to create your brand, whatever that brand is. And when I say that, it's important to know that, you know, people talk about you, whether it's good or bad. You know, people will, if I say, tell me about so-and-so, that person will tell me about that person based on the brand that that person has created, right? He's a go-getter. He likes to work on additional projects. You know, he's always looking for the next opportunity. You know, he's a team player, all those things, right? And a lot of times, we don't even think about it, but a lot of times, opportunities for new roles or promotions happen because of those conversations that you're not even aware of. So I think, you know, your brand is important. I think you need to know what your brand is. And if it's not the brand that you're looking for or that you should have, then go back to the feedback, go back to that coach or mentor and have those conversations so you can start working on creating that brand or moving that brand to one that is beneficial for you. Managers, companies are willing to invest in you. You don't need to know everything, you know, but if they see that you're a go-getter, that you're learning, they're willing to invest in you. So that's important. Number 5, I talked about this when I gave you the example of you and I talking, but I think you need to, and my manager at McDonald's, I think you need to help others grow. You know, nothing better than when a manager leaves or a manager gets another job to say, I have the right person for you. I've trained and helped this person grow, and he or she is ready for this opportunity. or to tell someone, have a open conversation with someone and help them understand, how they get to the next level in their career. So I think we need to be willing to be open to help others grow in their careers, in their jobs, in life. And last, I love what you do. I love what I do. I love my job. Different times, many times I get calls from recruiters, or LinkedIn sends me a message. Oh, we have this great opportunity. We want to talk to you. But I love what I do, and it's not only about the money, obviously. I think you have to put everything in perspective. And if you wake up in the morning and say, I love what I do, I love the team I work with, I love what I get to do on a day-to-day basis, I think that's key for you to be successful. If you're there for the check, for the paycheck, and the job doesn't challenge you, you don't enjoy working with the other folks, the team members, I think that's not going to lead to a successful career. I think you find yourself in that role for many, many years without a lot of learning or growth. And so those are I think my 6, as I call them, Javier's steps to be successful in your job. And that doesn't have to be human resources. It could be any career, any type of role. But to me, those are 6 important key aspects. Yeah.
That's awesome.